Hello, I'm Matthew Brown. Thank you for tuning again into Tuesday Life Lessons. Hey, I want to introduce you to a book by Dr. Sidney and Suzanne Simon. It's called Forgiveness: How to Make Peace with Your Past and How to Get On with Your Life. You know what I found out in talking to a number of people in counseling and preaching and sharing across the country? One of the biggest issues in people's lives is forgiveness. And you might find it a little funny, particularly if you are a Christian. Because we were forgiven. Christ forgave us, and there's a whole lot of admonition in the Word of God that as God has forgiven us, so we ought to forgive one another. But what we find is that forgiveness is a real tough pill to swallow, because there's such a sense of deep offense that people may feel in their life that it's difficult for them to extend forgiveness. One of the things I really want to share with you is the fact that you always need to take into consideration how much God has forgiven you and how others have forgiven you. And so we really don't have a right to hold on to unforgiveness. You know, they talk about what forgiveness is not, and I've come up with my own little saying that forgiveness is not forgetting, it's releasing. Your brain can't allow you, because it's a supercomputer, your brain is going to hold on to things. When you see people who have offended you, who've hurt you, who've talked about you, who have maligned you, who've tried to set you up, you're always going to remember that. But there's a grace that God brings with forgiveness that allows you to take the sting out of the injury. So forgiveness is not forgetting, it's releasing. A whole lot of people will tell you, forgive and forget, meaning that you act as though it did not happen. There comes a time that there must be a season in your life where you need a point of separation, a point of healing, so that you can extend the grace of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a grace, and it is also a discipline. So while it is a spiritual grace, it is a human discipline, and it is possible. And so I would really want to share with you that you holding on to unforgiveness only makes you the small person. It diminishes your character. It reduces your depth, your capacity. Forgiveness must be a daily part of your life, must be a daily part of your prayer life. And you not only have to forgive others, but you have to release people from places of injury. So forgiveness is not forgetting, it's releasing. It's allowing you to go forth in your life, and it's releasing others maybe from your life, but nonetheless you are not holding on to the pain. Forgiveness is a very tough pill to swallow. It's a hurdle that a lot of people must overcome based upon some of the tragedies that have happened in others' lives. Now, I am not sitting here for one moment suggesting that I understand the dynamics that comes with forgiveness that is attached to your experience. I don't know where you come from, and I don't know what you've been through. But I do know this, that if you're still holding on to forgiveness, you're allowing the people who have injured you, the people who have leveraged you, the people who have maligned you, you're allowing them to continue to have control and presence in your life. When you release them, Jesus was on the cross of Calvary, dying for the sins of the world, and he could have died with an angry spirit. Instead of internalizing that injury, internalizing that injustice, he releases them and says, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Well, we can't say that, because some people know exactly what they've done, but nonetheless we have the burden to release them from that injury. I want you to get this book, Forgiveness: How to Make Peace with Your Past and Get On with Your Life. It is critically important that you get on with your life. And I'm not talking about getting on to forget about what's happened, but that you place those people that you need to forgive. They may be already past. They may be expired already. They've passed away, but you still need to forgive them. Whether that's writing a letter to them, whether that's taking a moment to speak words of forgiveness, words of releasing, because when you forgive, you release all the toxic poison that unforgiveness begins to develop inside of you. Roots of bitterness, anger, attitude, edginess, and you wonder what's going on inside of you. it's probably because you have not reconciled that you need to forgive. I pray the blessing of the Lord be upon you, but I pray that you have the courage now to release people from the injury that they caused in your life so that you can move powerfully in your life. The Lord bless you. God keep you. Stay in His face. Journey well.